endgame PvE in Guild Wars 2 can be difficult to understand, with build setups, finding the right gear, boss mechanics, and having to learn a rotation. It's easy to see how overwhelming it all is without some help. That is why today, I have gotten together 9 very easy, low-intensity DPS builds for you. These builds are not the top damaging builds, but are very simple to understand. I chose to cover all 9 of the Ender Dragon specializations, seeing as how they are fairly fresh and actually the easiest specs to gear up through their profession-specific collections. To put things into perspective, if everyone in your Dragon's End run used one of these builds, you'd clear the meta every single time. My hope is that after watching this video, you're able to find a build that you like and maybe start clearing some of that content that you thought was hard yourself. This video took a lot of resources to make, so if it helps you at all, consider subscribing and leaving a like. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop right in. For our first build, we will be utilizing full Berserker stats with Runes of the Scholar. We'll be running a Great Sword with Superior Sigil of Impact and Superior Sigil of Force. This gear will provide us with all the stats we need to be a power-pumping DPS. For our traits, we're going to be running Invocation with 2-3-3, Devastation with 2-2-2, and of course Vindicator with 1-3-1. We'll be running Shiro and Jalis as well for our legend stances. So the way this works is pretty simple. You'll go ahead and engage with your dodge, but make sure you press Impossible Odds right before you land, and you'll just go ahead and press Greatsword 5 and Greatsword 3. You'll continue to do this until you're out of energy, and then you will swap over to Jalis, same thing, spin the hammers, and just press Greatsword 3, Greatsword 5, and dodge. It's a very easy 4-button rotation that averages about 30k DPS. Pretty simple, very effective. If you're learning Rev or just want some easy DPS, I would highly recommend this build. Willbender is a Condi build that utilizes full Viper's gear with Balthazar runes and a full set of Rampager's accessories. For the weapon, you will use Sword and Torch, with the Superior Sigil of Bursting and Superior Sigil of Fire. For the skills, you'll be running Signet of Resolve, Purging Flames, Sanctuary, Signet of Wrath, and Heaven's Palm for Breakbar. For the traits, we run Radiance with 2, 2, and 3, Virtues with 3, 1, 1, and Willbender with 1, 1, 2. The rotation is fairly simple. You just Virtue 1 into Torch 4 and Purging Flames. You do this on repeat and that is your whole rotation. Make sure that every time that Torch 4 comes up, you're pressing it. Every time that it comes up, you need to press it. That will maximize your DPS. It can come up even whenever it's on cooldown, so just go ahead and keep an eye out. This rotation is really easy and it can actually do some really nice damage, so if you like Willbender, you'll like this one. The last of the heavy armors, which is the Bladesworn, utilizes a full Berserker's gear with Scholar runes. It also runs full Berserker's accessories as well, with double axes, with Superior Sigil of Force on both of them. We run 5 signets to make this build as passive as possible, with the traits of Strength running 3-3-1, Discipline running 2-1-1, and Bladesworn going 3-2-2. The Bladesworn rotation is by far the easiest. It is a simple 2-button rotation, which does Axe 5 into a fully charged Dragon Slash. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and start off in Axe 5, and you'll auto attack until you have about half of your bar full, and you'll charge a max Dragon Slash. From here, you will just Axe auto attack, wait for either Dragon Slash or Axe 5, and just do it again. So yeah, that's all you do. This build actually averages like 26k DPS on just boons, and that's only 2 buttons. So pretty easy build, pretty effective build, honestly, if you're looking for something simple. Going right into our first medium class, we actually have the Untamed. Today we're running a Power Untamed with full Berserkers and Scholar runes, as well as Sigil of Force and Impact on the hammer. Our main skills to focus on here will be Exploding Spores, and Muddy Terrain. Exploding Spores will give us a ton of extra damage, while Muddy Terrain will actually do some really nice break bar damage. Our traits are going to be Marksmanship 2-2-1, Skirmishing 3-3-3, and Untamed 3-1-3. A few things to note: make sure you start off in Unleashed so that all your skills get increased damage, and also make sure that you're striking from the flank. Go ahead and open up with Exploding Spores and follow up with just Hammer 2 and Hammer 4. That's simply it. You just press Hammer 2 when it's up, press Hammer 4, and then press Exploding Spores. As long as you're standing behind the target, you'll be doing easily above 20k DPS. This build is also very simple and very effective. If there is a break bar, don't be afraid to hit your Muddy Trap. It'll do a lot of break bar damage. Next up is the Specter with the Condition build. It rocks full Vipers with Runes of Torment and full Rampager accessories. The weapons are Scepter and Dagger, running Superior Sigil of Bursting and Superior Sigil of Doom. The skills are mostly passive, mainly consisting of poisons that you just apply on your weapons one time, and they're there for the duration. Basilisk Venom is the elite skill for increased break bar damage as well. Our traits are Deadly Arts 3-2-1, Trickery 3-3-1, and Specter 3-1-1. These traits will give us some nice increased Condi damage and Condi application, as well as initiative gains. So this rotation is pretty simple. You just go ahead and pop all of your poisons, so all your skills, and spam Scepter 3. And if you need initiative, go ahead and steal, and you can just keep spamming Scepter 3. You're going to want to hop into Shroud as soon as possible and use all your abilities there. You can press 2 and 4, even 5. If you want extra damage, you can press Shroud 5 as well. But if you'd like to just stick to Shroud 2 and 4, you can do that as well and hit some nice damage. Once your Shroud's up, you can just go ahead and go back to spamming skills and Scepter 3, as well as stealing for extra initiative, and just hop back into Shroud. You'll be averaging over 20k DPS, even more with full buffs. And last for the medium armors, everyone's favorite, the Mechanist. You'll be running full Berserkers with Scholar's Runes, and Rifle with Superior Sigil of Force and Superior Sigil of Air. For your skills, they are mostly all signets to provide the most passive bonuses possible. We are running a Mine, however, to do a little bit more damage and add a bit more to the rotation. The traits are pretty standard. They run Explosives on 3-1-3, Firearms on 3-3-2, and Mechanist on 3-3-1. To make this as easy as possible, we're going to go ahead and set our mech skills to auto cast, meaning they will cast whenever they're available. You do this by holding down Control and right clicking on each of them. From here, the rotation is a simple 2-button. You just go ahead and pop the mine, detonate it, and use Rifle 2, all while your mech is giving you that passive quickness. This build does a lot of damage for probably the simplest effort, and it's also ranged, so that is a massive plus. Definitely an easy one to pick up if you are looking to get into some easy and fast strikes. The Harbinger build will be our first interesting one, as we're running a bit of a quickness DPS build. You're going to want to run full Diviners with Scholar Runes, as well as full Berserker accessories. For the weapons, go ahead and run Dagger and Warhorn with Superior Sigil of Force and Superior Sigil of Concentration. For our skills, we're opting into a more passive bonus with 3 signets as well as 2 minions. The minions will provide nice passive life force gain, and the signets will provide us with some utility, such as a nice revive for our team. Our traits will be Spite 1-3-2, Soul Reaping 1-1-2, and Harbinger 1-1-2. These traits will make it so that our signets actually keep their passive effects on use, and Harbinger will give us quickness as well. Go ahead and start by summoning both minions and engaging in combat. You're going to go and start in Shroud and just spam skill 2. That's all you will do in Shroud until your life force is gone. Remember, the main point is to give quickness to our team. Damage is nice too, but that is secondary. Now, Outside of Shroud, you just go ahead and use Warhorn 5 as well as the Dagger auto attack. And you can also use your Shadow Fiend ability as well whenever it's off cooldown for extra damage. See how our life force is just going up an insane amount? That is vital to this build because the more life force you have, the longer you're in Shroud. The longer you're in Shroud, the more quickness uptime you have. This build can get actually 100% quickness uptime while dealing 15k DPS. That's pretty solid, not gonna lie. For just 3 buttons, that is pretty solid, man. So next time that you want to join a group and looking for a quickness DPS, you're actually able to do that instead of just being a high DPS. Next up is the Catalyst with another hybrid build. You're going to be running full Celestial stats with Rune of Balthazar. Your weapon will be the Hammer with Superior Sigil of Earth and Superior Sigil of Force. For this build, we'll be using Signets and Minions for better passive damage. You run Fire 1-1-1, Earth 2-1-2, and Catalyst 2-1-3. The rotation actually just stays in Fire Attunement the entire time, utilizing burn damage and the power of Hammer itself. What you'll do is you'll go ahead and press every single ability on your bar until they go on cooldown. And that's it. You want to be pressing every single button in Fire Attunement, all your skills, as soon as they come up. You'll be doing above 20k DPS by doing this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you see a button glow up, just press it and you're done. Virtuoso is a spicy build that runs a 4-2 split on Vipers and Rampagers gear, full Rampager accessories, and for the weapon you'll be using Dagger Focus with Superior Sigil of Bursting and Superior Sigil of Earth. Your skills are all Signets with passive bonuses as well as a small break bar stun. Your elite skill is 1000 cuts just to do a little bit extra damage and squeeze it out whenever you have downtime. For our traits, we're going to be running Dueling on 1-3-1, Illusions on 1-3-1, and Virtuoso on 3-2-3. Your primary goal is to get 5 blades and use them all on a Shatter skill. You do this by spamming auto attacks and using Dagger 2. Your priority shatters are Shatter 1 into Shatter 2, and then Shatter 4 if you have to. You can also do Dagger 3 if you want a little bit more damage, as well as Focus 5, but if you just want to keep it as simple as possible, feel free to just auto attack, Dagger 2, and Shatter skills. Your Signet of Illusions can actually refresh the cooldown of all your Shatter skills every so often, so press that if you have downtime. Same for 1000 cuts as well for the extra damage. This build saw peaks of 28k DPS on just a single target. With all the piercing blades, you could easily do more when there's multiple targets present, making this a fantastic build for the many PvE game modes Guild Wars 2 has to offer. And there you have it. That is one low intensity build for every spec of End of Dragons. If you have any questions, feel free to pop into my Twitch. I stream a couple nights a week, so if you see me, feel free to say hi and maybe drop a follow. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.